In 1901, sponge divers found a corroded lump of bronze in an ancient shipwreck. It turned out to be a hand-powered computer built 2,000 years ago, and nothing this complex would appear again on Earth for over 1,000 years. In 1901, divers off a tiny Greek island stumbled onto an ancient shipwreck. Among the treasure was a shapeless lump of bronze that would completely rewrite history. And it began, like so many great discoveries, entirely by accident. A crew of sponge divers, sheltering from a storm, dropped anchor near the island of Antikythera. When one diver went down, he surfaced in a panic, babbling about a heap of dead bodies on the seabed. They weren't corpses. They were bronze and marble statues from a Roman-era ship that sank around 60 BC. The wreck was a floating treasure vault: statues, glassware, jewelry, and coins. The divers hauled up everything they could to the National Museum in Athens. And among all that priceless art was one unremarkable, corroded lump of bronze that nobody noticed. For months, that lump just sat in a crate, slowly drying out and cracking apart. Then in 1902, an archaeologist looked closer and saw something impossible. Set into the corroded bronze were tiny, precise gear teeth cut by hand. Inside were more than 30 interlocking bronze gears in a device the size of a shoebox. It was a machine of a complexity no one believed the ancient world could ever have built. To find gear work this sophisticated again, you would have to wait more than 1,000 years. But knowing it had gears was one thing. Working out what they did took a century. In the 1950s, a physicist named Derek de Solla Price became obsessed with the fragments. Using early X-ray images, he began to count the teeth on gears buried deep inside the corrosion. Then in 2005, a giant CT scanner peered right through the bronze. The scans revealed thousands of hidden Greek letters, a tiny instruction manual etched into the metal. Slowly, gear by gear and word by word, researchers rebuilt what this machine actually did. And what it did still sounds like science fiction. You turned a small hand crank on the side, and the entire cosmos came to life. On the front, one dial showed the 12 signs of the zodiac and the Egyptian calendar. Golden pointers tracked the sun and the moon as they moved through the sky across the year. A little rotating ball, half silver and half black, showed the exact phase of the moon. And here's the genius part. The moon doesn't move at a steady speed across our sky. So the builders used a clever pin and slot gear to perfectly mimic the moon speeding up and slowing down. But the front was only half of the story. Turn it over. The back held two great spiral dials that tracked the calendar across many years. The top spiral followed a 19-year cycle that syncs the sun and the moon. The bottom spiral could predict eclipses of the sun and moon years before they happened. A small dial even counted down the 4-year cycle to the ancient Olympic Games. This single box tracked festivals, calendars, the moon, the planets, and the fate of the heavens. Some of its inscriptions even claimed to predict an eclipse's color and the winds it would bring. Which raises the biggest question of all: who on earth built this thing? Modern reconstructions prove it truly works exactly as the ancient inscriptions describe. Some historians point to the school of the great inventor Archimedes, who built legendary bronze spheres. Others credit the astronomer Hipparchus, whose lunar theory the machine seems to use. The calendar's month names even hint it came from the wealthy island city of Rhodes. But whoever they were, their astonishing knowledge did not survive. As the ancient world collapsed, the skill to build such devices was simply lost. Gear machines this precise would not be seen again until medieval clockmakers, over 1,000 years later. It makes you wonder what other ancient wonders vanished, leaving no trace at all. So take a moment to think about everything this single, hand-powered box could do. Track the planets, show the moon's phases, predict eclipses, and time the Olympic Games. All of it from bronze gears cut by hand 2,000 years ago. The antikythera mechanism is more than a curiosity. It is a warning. It proves that we have badly underestimated just how brilliant the ancient world truly was. A message in bronze from a lost genius, pulled from the bottom of the sea. The ancients built a computer, and then history forgot that it was ever even possible. It sat on the seabed for 2,000 years, waiting to prove them wrong. The oldest computer in the world, and a mystery we are only just beginning to solve.